So what do you do if the person you're dating has explicitly told you they'd like to keep their options open? I'm dating coach Hayley Quinn, and in this short video, I'm going to be giving you advice on how you can deal with this tricky dating situation. I'd also absolutely love it if any of you have been in this situation before to share in the comments exactly how you handled it when the person you're dating told you that they wanted to keep their options open. First of all, I want you to ask yourself, could I want this too? Obviously, commitment is kind of like it says on the tin. It's a really big deal. It means you're not open to meeting other people anymore, that you're committed and invested in this one person, and that usually as time goes on, your lives become more and more entwined with one another. That's why it's often not helpful to go into every relationship or every dating experience assuming it's going to end up at the altar. Instead, you should be really focused on, is this person right for me? How are we connecting? Am I having fun with them? And a lot of the time, these questions about compatibility and perhaps whether you would want to commit to a person aren't even clear until you've known someone for a period of time. So perhaps this keeping your options open thing, perhaps the first thing to check out for yourself is, could this be an option that works for me too? And if so, just clearly communicate your position. Now, if the first thing that popped into your mind as I was telling you that was, I don't know, seeing more than one person at a time just kind of makes me feel uncomfortable. So even if we're not committed per se, or we don't know where this relationship is going yet, ultimately, I still prefer to get to know one person at a time. So first of all, this is great. It's awesome that you've identified how you prefer to date people. And it's also really important here that you stick with your own sense of how you prefer to interact with people. Everyone is different. Some people are really comfortable dating multiple people at once. Other people prefer to focus on one person at a time. Some people like monogamy. Some people want to keep their options open. And part of the hack of finding a great partner for you is finding someone who really lines up well with those preferences around relationship styles, and to not either try and arm twist them into wanting a style of relationship that they don't, or to try and convince yourself that you're happy with a version of a relationship that doesn't actually line up with your own standards about what you want. So what do you do if they've explicitly told you they want to keep their options open and now you just know this doesn't line up with how you see relationships and what you ultimately want? First and foremost, it's really important that you listen to what this other person is communicating to you and you take them at their word. Don't assume that just because they're messaging you more often, because you've become physically intimate, that because this has been going on for a few months now, that anything has changed in their mind. Often if people do issue you a bit of a disclaimer with the whole, just so you know, I'm not looking for anything serious right now, or I want to keep my options open, take them at their word. That's probably exactly what they mean, even if some of their actions are becoming more relationship orientated. Now, if you do want to feel more confident within yourself and your own boundaries and understand how to navigate dating better, I'd highly recommend you enroll in my free online mini course. For the ladies out there, you can head over to hayleyquinn.com/real love. And for the guys, it's hayleyquinn.com/unite. The link is beneath this video. Also, I want you to be wary of someone who doesn't have this conversation openly with you, but just indicates things through their actions. So perhaps they really avoid the conversation about what you are. They don't want to put a label on it. The months are ticking by and they're clearly showing that they prefer to keep things vague. Again, if someone hasn't explicitly had the conversation with you that you are committed, don't assume that commitment exists. So what do you do? Okay, so now we have acknowledged fully that this is what their position is. It doesn't line up with your position. How do you handle it? Well, there's a few different strategies that you can take, and often which one is right for you will come down to who you are as an individual and how you prefer to interact. So for some people, it can be a simple case of recognizing this person isn't giving me their 100%. So I don't want to now give them my 100%. What does my 50% look like? What does my 20% look like? Is it that I draw a line at a certain level of physical intimacy? Is it that I see them once a week? Is it that, yes, I am proactive at trying to date other people? Is it that I don't overly emotionally invest in them and stop myself from messaging them all day, every day. Again, for some people, they are really able, once they get that feedback loop of, I'm only getting 50% from you, they can also then adapt their behavior and lower their level of commitment in line with that. And if you can do it, that can actually be quite a smart thing to do, because it enables you to keep exploring this potential relationship or this interaction without you overcommitting. So you also then can use your newfound independence to refocus on your friends, your career, family, your hobbies, and your interests, so that this person you're dating is no longer the central point of focus to you. Now, if you're thinking, that sounds great, but the problem is, when I'm with one person, I tend to just focus on them. How do I handle it? So as I mentioned, whilst taking a step back and giving someone your 20% can feel like a smart option, for a lot of people out there, it's simply not going to be emotionally realistic. If you find that you are going to become attached to this person, that the longer you spend together, that the deeper that attachment is going to go, then you probably want to take more clear action around how you handle this situation. So if you're going to find it inauthentic to play it cool and like keep your options open, and that is just not you, that's fine. Honor yourself, respect your own boundaries, know how you like to interact with people. Then it could just be the case of having a clear, simple conversation with the person and say, look, I really like you, but I understand you want to keep your options open. Whilst I respect that, it doesn't really line up with how I like to get to know people. So I think for now, it's better that we just let this one go. Now, if you can have that conversation in a way that's really clear, that's really peaceful, that puts across your own boundaries and expectations, it also gives the other person an opportunity there where if they really want to, they might want to step up now and show that they've changed their preferences. And if not, it helps you to get out of a situation that could potentially ding your self-esteem later down the line. So remember, when it comes to the wonderful world of dating advice, often there isn't one right answer. It's in fact about doing something that fits with your personality and where you happen to be in your life at the moment. If you like this advice, please check out the rest of my channel, and hopefully I'll see you again very soon.